Hello, everyone, and welcome to Esoteric Ebb Day. The boy's here, the executive producer. He is here, and he is present, and he wishes to say hello. Hello, everyone. I hope you are doing well. It's another slog-dogging day, lads. We're gonna slog those dogs. We're gonna get in the pillar. We're gonna get really confused about what's going on. It's that kind of day.
Pizza time.
Already on it. All right, bud. Oh, you've been blessed by Annie Danny before we've even gotten into the recap. Crime hands. Larku, welcome in. Diet Elf, hello. Pleasure to see you as always. Pegasus Bat Spider, Annie Danny, thank you all for being here. I was scrambling at the end of my errands because I got back. I was putting some stuff away and ended up cutting the shit out of my hand. And then I went upstairs to get a bandage and found out that the executive producer had vomited on the, one small bit of carpet that's upstairs. And then I had to split up a bunch of raw chicken into smaller and more manageable pieces from Costco. It's been an exciting 15 minutes. But we're here, we're good, we're ready to go. Last time, we let out Moonwatch, Moonman, Mariatic Moonman. The man in yellow, Frank, son of Frank, the guy that we were trying to track down. We ended up freeing him, getting him out of there. Oh, excellent. No brain cell. I'm very excited. Is this the boy desperately trying to make his way up there? Oh, no, it's just him being himself. A beautiful little boy. And also a terrorist beyond measure. Thank you for the clip. Yeah, and we found out that the person who blew the tea shop up was somebody who showed up and then managed to, through invisibility, enter the Pillar of Yore, which is a gate to the outside world where Yore was communicating with them. It's all starting to get very metaphysical. But I think it's time. Oh, it's almost time. Oh, we have a different recap session note. It's almost time. We're nearing the end. Last time you found Meriadoc, the star witness you've been looking for all campaign. He told you about this invisible smoking person who entered into the pillar. As crazy as it sounds, you're certain. You need to follow. You need to find a way into the Pillar of Yore. Very esoteric indeed. Though we are... Oh, right! I also forgot we met a big friend in the Everglad. He who waits in the pipes or whatever. The fucking warlock patron that tried to fucking kill us. In order to bring a prophecy about that would bring the esoteric magic back. So old warlock patron shit, we told him, no thank you, sir. I'm good without a pact. And he went back into the sewers. And then we had a couple of thoughts that we were working on internalizing. So let's internalize our thoughts. Let's start with class conflict. They must have realized by now. You are not just some government goon. You are... cleric? You are the cleric. This is your calling, your duty, your life. Since you joined the Earthguard to make sense of this unruly life of yours, it is your calling. This is where you found your zealotry, your love for this city, your meaning in life.
Feel clerical. There are other trails as well. One's more in tune with your natural inclination.
I see where you're going with this.
Yes, you have shown promise as a primal caster, a friendly local druid that is also a choice you could make in the coming years. At that, one that would suit your demeanor well, and potentially grant you access to healthy friendships.
Those things, whatever you say, is not what your innards crave. Oh, no, it's not. No. If you are thick, you'll keep taking hits. If you get back up, even with a world upon your shoulders, suffrage, order, buildings, home, hierarchy, nothing natural, all fake. No, your body craves the real. Fresh meat, flowing water, green grass.
You've hydrated too much. Oh no. Go piss, girl.
A brute. A barbarian of Ascani. That is what untangled the knot in your stomach. And so on.
Tell me more about the cleric.
With that name as your pride, you will keep going. Through divine, sacred magic.
Your healing spells are increased by an extra proficiency. Your heals can also be increased by your strength modifier instead of your wisdom if it's higher. That's good, but I'm almost certain we're going to be a barbarian instead. Tell me more about Ascani Barbarian.
Your skin is iron. Your flesh is stone. As you crumble, you grow harder. You get back up.
Whenever you are below 25% HP, add an extra proficiency on all rolls. Hell yes. I'm in pain constantly. Tell me more about friendly local druid. Spend more time in the great outdoors. That is the first step. Extra proficiency in rolls when in natural habitats. This includes outside areas, overgrown areas, and caverns. That's pretty bad. Moist holes also count. You can't say that, Wisdom. It's a very unwise thing to say. Moist holes also count. Scoop, welcome in. You have missed very little. We are having an internal conflict with 3 of our stats, and we are choosing our class right now. They're arguing. And Wisdom just said Wisdom just allowed us to get proficiency in moist holes. I'm ready to make a decision.
Yes. It is here.
You know.
Your body thanks you. The journey shall be long, but you will endure. You always do.
Feel like you found yourself. And finally, the Esoteric Ebb itself. Delved deep, sought far, seen within, watched without. The pillar of yore, an ancient bulwark, its gate rising beyond. True, yeah, the Everglade is sitting in a moist hole. Yeah, I got pretty deep down to figure this out. I'm still really confused. What did I do exactly? You performed communions. Wizard feat. Oh, a chance not to consume spell slots on cast. That seems pretty solid. you performed communions, each step of the way making it clearer to you how little they matter. These vestiges of the maker of your world, they are but esoteric rock which sits until something changes.
This isn't making things much clearer, to be honest.
That is okay. Remember the words, the ones written upon the soft tissue at the back of your head. Feel the esoteric. Sway it. To tame it, in hubris and pride, will always result in tragedy. A fool's talk. You are a genius at work. This investigation has led one step closer to that illustrious title you seek. String Master.
No. This magic must be wielded in attunement with the divine. Nothing else. Listen to the voice of God. It shan't lead you astray.
That's not the voice you heard, buddy. That was, if anything, a potential patron. Which is, of course, way more exciting.
Okay, I'm sensing some different paths here.
Yes, 3 of them. You do not know where they shall lead, but you may consider each.
Tell me more about Voice of God. Earth watches upon you. His spirit channels your powers each day, and that will never change. Trust in the divine. Whenever you roll a d20, another hidden d20 is rolled. If that die is the same as your die, you critically succeed. If both are natural 20s, you regain all your hit points, you regain all your spell slots, you lose all levels of exhaustion, and you become genuinely happy for 1d4 seconds. That's pretty good. Tell me more about String Master. Focus on your mastery of the esoteric. This knowledge, as cryptic as it is, will help you on your way. For each level of spell slot you have, you gain 1 additional maximum spell slot. Tell me more about Communing Patron. You got a friend beyond. They'll take care of you in a win-win sort of situation. If you take damage that would cause you to go to 0, a mysterious force protects you. If this happens, you take no damage and lose only 1 first-level spell slot. If you don't have any first-level spell slots, this does not happen. Become genuinely happy for 1d4 seconds as me every time I accomplish something. Fucking mood, Scoop. Fucking mood. Actually, yeah, no, that's today's message. And yes, this is different from the godly voice thing, but mostly in aesthetics, which is the most important part, to be fair. I'm ready to make a decision. Well? Yes, you know it.
Oh, you got promoted? Happy for 1d4 seconds. Come on.
Well done. Earth be blessed.
Sense the pillar and move on. Okay. Can I change my feats? Why am I hovering? And we remember the horrors. Forgo feat. Okay. That I love. I'm gonna forgo democracy, I'm afraid. And then I'm gonna take Voice of God. Yes, this is where we're at. You can change your fit. Just found it. Thank you, Myth. If I had been confused for a moment longer and looked to my left, I would have seen it. Okay. Oh,
Everglad, him in the pipes. Him in the pipes. He's an aberrations. By the gods, it's a trifler. It's what they call beholders. Triflers. I'm going to forego democracy, the United States in 2026. Ugh. Depressingly real. Okay. I don't exactly remember. What were you doing? An iron snail-like door. You approach the round door. Upon the surface, a single piece of paper clings to the metal. This one, a crude drawing showing 3 creatures. A lion, a goat, and a snake. Oh, a chimera. It'd be nice to have a language that just shows pictures of what you're talking about. I like the goat. Which one do you like, dear? The angel leans in. I enjoy the lion myself. It is a prideful creature. You also notice a crack in the door. It's small, found in between several large pieces of shells. I can talk to animals? Of course I will cast Speak with Animals. The sound of the primal spell rings down the tunnel. Then, a sound. Low, rumbling. Who speaks beyond? Oh, that's not good. Are you trapped in there? A roar shakes the iron. Someone speaks, someone hears. I can hear you. Yes, at last. The lion's voice booms. The lion's voice rises. If there is a voice, then there is an exit. The snake's voice hisses. If the exit exists, then we can escape. The goat's voice barks. If we can escape, then we are no more. Wait, what do you mean? It does not answer. And then, in an instant, the voices disappear. A strange light emanates from the seal on the door. Look at it. The paper crumbles into ash. Nothing happens with the door. It remains shut. Huh. It appears the creature inside did not survive the breaking of the seal. That was awful. That sucked ass. Oh, thank you. Thank you, my goat voice. Thank you, my goat voice. Thank you for the compliment on my goat voice. I'm just trying to channel the horrible goat man from Diablo 1. The cowardly goat man. I remember... Yeah, there's more. I'm gonna keep doing the low seal doors first, I think. You approach the iron door. On it, a paper carrying a symbol. It looks like a flame. Heat. Radiating. Is it just me, or is that door a bit, hot? The air almost shimmers. An elemental. The angel sends you a message. Your goblin companion takes a step away from it. A faint sound like a whisper in the tunnel. Mortal. Make an arguably confused cleric sound. I wish for you to know my peril. I am Galbadar, the one of the pearled flame. I have been trapped here for many eras. As the top Ifrit of the Crimson Court, I would go to heavens and hells to serve you, if only you destroy the seal which holds me here. What do you want? Silence. Then, you will free me. The word explodes from the door. Heat washes over you. Not a question, a command. How arrogant. No. What? The Ifrit composes itself. You must listen. I have power to grant you more than anything else of that mystical nature ever could.
That's vague.
True words are always vague. Break the seal, free me, then I shall grant you a great service.
What happens if I break this?
Freedom, power, I will grant you wishes.
Wait. If you've been sealed for this long,
Do not think, only act.
the seal keeps you alive, doesn't it? Silence.
You know nothing, mortal. I have been here for aeons. If I die, so be it.
Sorry, your choice.
Yes!
Rip the seal.
You grab the paper. Heat surges. Burning! But you hold. Yes, yes! Break it!
The Ifrit roars with triumph.
Free me, mortal!
Bear the pain.
You must. Pull. The seal resists. For a moment, the paper feels hard as steel. You see, then you see. Little cracks.
Break it. The paper explodes into ash and flame.
Yes, I am.
The voice cuts off.
Not gradually, like instantly.
Like a candle snuffed, it is gone.
The door grows cold.
Silent. Is it dead? It was a spirit. Now that spirit is gone. The seal was the only thing keeping it intact. The seal is gone. The Ifrit is gone with it. Touch the door.
Cold iron.
Yeah, the snail people are apparently have some real fucked up jails. No heat. No life. Time to go. All right. This one's got 2. Why is that? You approach an iron door. This one bears a symbol of chains with a comically crude little devil drawing underneath it. Intricate, precise, almost beautiful in its cruelty. I don't like this one. It's wrong.
The air feels wrong, oppressive, heavy.
An infernal oppressive force, the angel tells you telepathically. I will cast Comprehend Languages. You cast the spell. Then, comprehensible words form, emerging form. Then, comprehensible words emerging from the chatter of a foreign tongue. Let the spell activate.
Waiting so long. Can you understand me now?
Perfect clarity. Yes!
A heavy exhale. Relief. Good. Good. Now listen. His voice carries authority. Centuries of command. I am a prisoner here, not by the Tulin cattle, but by the mad wizard who roams this cursed place. He, by some feat of my own idiocy, managed to trick me into this cursed cell. By now, my soul has all but burned into the void inside, so please rip the seal and kill me. I would owe you quite a great deal if you did.
You sure are talking a lot.
I have been here for a long time, stranger. Indulge me.
Mad wizard?
A man of House Haggenshags. He went mad years ago, taken by the beyond. Surely, by now. I came to these ruins via the Undercoast Sea, all to avoid you, humans above. Yet the trove he promised me was but ruse. No offense, but I'm not one to ever put my hope in a human again.
I wouldn't trust a devil either.
What makes you so sure that I am a devil?
You're not?
No, I am. It might be more obvious than I imagined, even with my soul in this iron gate.
Who are you?
I am a soldier.
He's saying something interesting here. Maybe. Somewhat. Something. Convince him to tell you more about his very rupturing backstory. Nope. Here's an idea. Yeah? Tell him something about yourself and see if you get something in return. Hey, so I'm very lonely and sometimes have nightmares about being alone. Can you tell me more about your life? The voice remains silent. Snell looks at you with an intrigued expression. Atir's many eyes look away. All of them. That is an interesting thing for you to tell me. I would prefer to not, though. But thank you. Shit. What do you want? Freedom. Simple. Direct. Break the seal. Let my spirit fly. I will return to Gorgorian's corpse, as I should have done years ago. You want to return to a corpse? Does it sound insane to you? A little. I see. I've decided what to do. Oh? Will you kill me, human? His voice is calm. Patient. I was gonna tell you more about me, but then you went and said that, and now, No. His voice is calm. Patient. A soldier waiting for orders. Yes, I'll break the seal. Thank you. Break the seal. Set me free. You grab the paper. It tears easily. Too easily. The seal shatters. Light erupts. Not flame. Not smoke. It's spirit. Heading seawards. Into your mind! Don't let it in! Uh-oh. The spirit slams into you. Your soul burns. Infernal energy rips through you. Pain. Oh, fuck, Clary! I'm okay. Wonderful. Thank you, human. Then you hear a faint, cackling laugh. A whisper, fading into nothing. Let it fade. The southern door now stands cold, empty. The devil is gone. I didn't just doom someone, did I? It is possible. The angel offers no comment. Snell steps up and taps you on the back. I wouldn't worry about it. Now can we go? Right, yeah, time to go. Oh, my bones. They're all fucked up. Oh, Etir, come on. Oh, right, I've got healing potions. Yeah, that's good. Is this where I came up? I think it is. Yeah. Yeah, this is where I came in. I thought I was gonna get straight up possessed. Here's a new one. Where's this going? Oh, this is just another way into this room. Oh, these are lighting up. Okay. She dropped this during the scuffle. Unluck blade. I don't think I do anymore after drinking that health potion, but I think I did, or I would have. Wait, do I have that barbarian feat active? Oh, I may not. Oh, no. Piss. Right, okay. No, yeah, it's in this. I need to... I'm foregoing this one, and I'm choosing the barbarian one. Yeah. Thanks, Pegasus Bat Spider. I absolutely forgot to activate that one. For some reason, I just assumed that one was a class feature I was getting, and not like a feat. Sure. Whoa. Tolls Pass. Visca. Earthport. Divinitorum. The fortress was still there 1,000 years ago, eh? Oh, that is a cute little emote. Dino dance. Hell yeah. That's good. Ilium Forest. Today, this is a cursed land. Raids! The coast. Your homeland. Yours point. The various dragon thorns of old Dimenor. You step out onto the little lines. It's faintly lit. The chamber collapsed, a rubble strewn across its surface. Yes, thank you, Skoo. Pegasus Bat Spider did design all of our emotes from some suggestions I got, and I love all of them. All you need to do is follow to get them. It's faintly lit. The chamber collapsed, rubble strewn across its surface. What you see is a slice 1/8 of a greater whole. It's a map. Of Ascani, yes. Damn. However, it is old. Mountains and rivers alone do not align with any modern-day interpretation. Despite that, the shape of the coastline, and of course, the ever-standing fortress of Verdun, shows it clearly. This is Ascani, during the era of the snail folk. You seeing the shit? I sure am. It's a map, right? You are correct, my goblin friend. It gives you an uncomfortable look. Must be thousands of years old. Look at the little snail people on it. Atir's many eyes glance over it, lighting it with a slight sacred flame. Early Fade era. What do you know about this time period? I recall our clashes with the Tulan cattle. They were formidable war mages. Though we never made landfall in Ascani during the time this map was created, it was considered Dominum Draconis. What you call today Ascani, Dimenor, and Vorgane were all within their territory. Right, you were alive back then. This realm is young, cleric. The 5 dragons each were older than anything born on Yor. Remember that. Sad that the rubble is covering Divinitorum. Yes, it would have been interesting to see their view on my homeland. I believe our domain would be considered approximately 3/4 of the Divinitorum landscape at this point in history. The choir did not centralize into a functional state until the Divine Era. There were many centuries of infighting and disorder. There are, and I'm considering it. I'm gonna keep developing out my folder of emotes as things go on. But I like giving the emotes to people who are just following because they're cool emotes, and I like people being able to use them without having to have a monetary incentive. But as we develop, I believe these are the 5 slots that I have for free followers. Everything else that I get will be sub only. No. You're good. You're good. All good. You, participated in any of that? Yes, no. Most of my lifetime has been spent in combat with other Celestials. Some freebies, some sub emotes. Yeah, and I'll develop that out eventually down the line. I don't have any ideas right now is the main problem. But I'll think on it. Yeah, you can use, if you are subbed to...
Oh, it's pizza time. Buddy, these are from Myth. Let's up to the face game. Yes. You're gonna go up. Time to make the executive producer happy for 1d4 seconds before his cat brain forgets it. Come here, bud. Come on. You're so dumb, my boy. Goodbye. I am gonna one of these days get a cat cam so that you can see him up close for these redemptions. Much that I love all of Pegasus Bat Spider's emotes, the VIP one that they made is just a delight every time I see it. The tail between the V, it's so inspired. I love it.
Most of my lifetime has been spent in combat with other Celestials.
Huh.
Indeed.
Right, very interesting find. I'm sure there's scholars that would kill for an LR this thing.
Meek thinks this is very interesting too. Old Master had many map, though Meek never learned what they mean.
Anyway, look at the dot on the coast.
You're home. Thousands of years in the past. This was its first founding, by these snails. The little images of these beasts of yore show them stretched far inland, having colonies along the river. Not too unlike your own people's efforts.
Look along River Torna.
They appeared to have had colonies even as far as Tor's Pass, even further than Earthport. Though curiously, this map does not align with your common knowledge.
No, it does not.
The endless wastes should not allow anything to be built this far inland. If this map depicts everything until the waste begins, then there was less wastes during the Fade era.
How fascinating.
A symptom of the ebb.
Look at Reed/Old Diminor. Across the border on the mostly covered in rubble band to your left.
You see a very different visual than is commonly depicted today. For today, most of Western Reeds is ruined, cursed. Where the cursed lands lay today, here you see a fertile crescent.
Is that a frog?
It appears so. How wonderful. Well, on the coast, you see several locations that do not align with any modern location. The Draconic Civil War surely reshaped most of this as your former overlords fell. The one dot that does align is a tiny one placed in the center of the bay, the Reedsian location for the Pillar of Yore. It has stood there since the Gate War, so it makes sense that the snails would want to point it out clearly. They did worship Yore in the end. And it also seems the rest of the geography in this depiction of Old Diminor does not align with any modern visuals either.
Look at Divinitorum. Most of it is covered in fallen rocks. The one thing you see is, like, some feathers? Birds? Yeah. Divinitorum was filled with birds all throughout the Fade era, from what you remember. It's like their thing. Loxori and birds. Then the Celestials settled more seriously over the course of the next couple hundred years. And with settled, well, that's the colonialism/imperialism version of it. They're still there today, so they surely did something right. Look at the lion in modern-day Vizca. You see lots of smaller symbols representing the lion folk of Ascani across the inner parts of the map.
White Mane. They ruled for long. Now they rest.
Heading off to trainer. Have an excellent rest of your stream. Have an excellent personal trainer, Scoop. Hope it goes good. Thanks for dropping by. And being a hype. a hype man.
Tribal catfolk ruled large parts of Ascani until the early Divine Era. Their claw marks are evident all over your precious city.
Look at the dragons. 3 of them can be seen. A red, a green, and a black. Look at the red dragon.
Esuth, the red dragon of Ashcan. The scourge of the coast, the largest of all known dragons throughout yours history. Unfortunately, he was slain long ago, else he would be a worthwhile prize.
Look at the green dragon.
Tissereldanor, the great green dragon. She was the mother of most, as they say, she who birthed the coastal broods. While a tyrant, like all her kin, she is known for her lighter touch and bond with man. When Doug Doolin Dim slayed her, it ushered in freedom for all of mankind. Her visage upon this map indicates her domain, what is today the Ilium Forest.
Look at the black dragon.
Umbra Mixus, the all-wise black dragon, guardian of the bay. He was known as the most magically adept dragon on the coast. His esoteric cast in Silver Slove has still not been found, and is to this day a popular target for adventurers in reeds.
I'm done looking at dragons. Look at yours ocean.
A cool depiction of a perch and a nice whirlwind pool at the top. Just like the same they do as today. Good thing the snails were as confounded by that whole mystery as we are today. You know, you could get yourself real rich by figuring that thing out one day.
The mystery?
Yeah, the mystery behind yours point. It was like the place where that big whale first entered, though through the first of yours gates or whatever. But no one who ever tries to sail directly seawards ever returns. Real spooky. But there have been reports of massive treasures being found on the islands located deep inside that stormy part of the ocean. So if you ever want to become an explorer, pirate, sailor, that's where to aim for the biggest payout.
I could become a pirate?
Just think about it, okay? The world is your oyster. Crack it open at your leisure.
Leave. Interesting history lesson. All right, we got a few more. We got one more sealed door, I think. And boy, there are a lot of them. A very creepy round snail door. You approach the ominous door.
The tunnel lay silent. Only your breath is heard.
A cell. This one. For their own.
Placed across the surface, you see pieces of paper covered in ancient writing.
Seals. They keep the spirit inside stable.
This is freaking me out.
Seals. Esoteric shackles. Yes. This is a prison. Indeed, these are cells. Cells of the soul. I have heard of these.
The angel speaks into your mind.
A prison made by the Anticipalian folk.
Look around the crevices of the door, underneath, along the sides. Pirate is a fun class aspiration. I feel like pirate's just a subset of rogue, though. We're barbarian through and through this run.
You press your head against the ground, against the walls. You see clearly, this door does not lead anywhere. It is not tightly sealed, nor is it very fastened against the end of the tunnel. It is simply an iron door set upright against the wall.
Oh, that's actually freaky. Feels cursed, at a minimum.
It is, in fact, a magical way of capturing creatures, not cursed.
Sounds cursed to me. That doesn't sound cursed to you?
It does not sound cursed to me.
Well, it sounds cursed to me.
Something is inside.
Look at the symbols. You lean in, checking them closely.
This symbol is clearly magical in nature. A glyph.
Talk to the door. Hello? Your voice echoes down the tunnel.
The angel beside you appears to freeze midair, her eyes focused on the iron door. Then, after several seconds, you hear. There is someone here. A light voice dances in the air.
It gives you chills.
I'm the cleric. Who are you?
There is silence for a while longer. Then the voice says, It's been long. I see not. I feel not. Yet you I hear, you beyond the door. I have a favor to ask of you.
Depends on what it is.
The voice is silent for a few seconds longer. Please, save my husband.
Oh. You catch a glimpse of the goblin giving you a worried expression.
I know not who you are. I do not speak your tongue. The strings grant me these few words. They broke his soul into paper. He made a grave mistake, but this punishment, it is beyond cruel. They wanted him to see the end of the world, to lose everything. My love, my foolish, petty, wonderful husband. I don't understand.
We will help.
Don't worry. My fate is written. The voice fades beyond the door.
Lady, we'll get you out of there.
Please break him out. Break the paper. Speak his name, please.
Pirate is an umbrella term that is subtypes for every class. Rogue pirates are swashbucklers, paladins are captain, barbarians are... That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Pirate is a super type rather than a subtype.
Save my Iskurum.
The pleading voice then stops. Lady? Hello? Nothing.
Jeez. That was something else.
I think I understand. A woman is in distress. You need to help. There is no doubt.
Yeah. Let's look into this. Right, Iti? We have to, Behind you, the angel is shivering.
Druid pirates are wave speakers. They talk to the tide, sort of like omen readers. Alternatively, seagull in shark form. Aquamans.
A glittering dust falls from her halo as it spins erratically. Her voice enters your mind, stuttering. This is a travesty.
Agreed.
Her body shakes in the air. To speak through an iron door takes a heavy toll. If she has truly been in there for a millennia, then her soul is already withered. Steal from who, Ben? Fucking Aquaman! You must break the seal, cleric. We must save Iskurum.
Rip the seals. As your fingers touch the paper, the symbol upon its surface lights up. Just for a split second. Bards, but only shanties. Yeah. Shanties and hurdy-gurdies all the way down. Then all at once, as your fingers drag through it, the paper crumbles into a bright, white ash. Nothing appears to happen with the door. Snell looks at the dissolving dust, then to you. I hope you know what you're doing.
She will rest. She deserves it.
A sprinkle of golden dust falls from her many, many eyes. Let us save him.
Yes.
Always, Snell. Always. Sure. I believe you. Yeah, you know shit is real fucked up when this, like, incredibly stoic robot woman gets real agitated.
Oh, I bet he's in the one that's been lighting up in the room where we fought girl Darrow. The Lady Darrow. Did we? Yeah, this is the map room.
Is this going to be lit up? Yes, it is. This is going to be where he is. All of the crystals are glowing. You approach the magical circle. Each of the 4 stones around it are glowing. This is the place. The goblin looks around. Looks clear, I think.
Iskarum. It is broken. The seal is unleashed.
Watch the light rapidly expand. Oh, rapid! Yes! Oh, he rules! You can rotate a snail in your mind. It's a snail. Snail takes a few more steps back. Uh-huh. Hello up there?
You then watch as the snail folk of a bygone era slams into the ground.
Stare at it. Oh, what a friend, dude! You watch as the creature shake and snivel. Its flabby skin moving about freely, its glistening surface reflecting the light. Look at the shell. It is covered in trinkets, books, vials, and all manner of esotericals. There is no doubt. This is a wizard of the highest degree. Look at the staff. It gives off a faint glow in the dark of the temple. A Gate-era artifact. This guy's one of my favorite characters. He has a fun gimmick. Oh boy. Prepare to approach the strange snail. They shine. The snail lifts his head. Plop. Excuse me? So this is what the Tulinkatl look like. Yalu. The snail holds up his open hand, 4 fingers stretched out. Then he twists them with a snap.
There we go. That should be better. I always keep a tongue prepared for this specific situation. Nothing as awkward as dealing with foreign dignitaries when you've run out of your slots. I am Iskarum, God Puller of the Tulin Empire, Master of the Path, servant of your Lord Researcher, and Diplomat of Peace.
He lowers his soft head all the way to the ground.
I'm Ragan. Greetings.
By yo! Do not worry, Mr. Ragan Cleric. I am not poisonous, nor do I hold any ill will. You did not mention that. How is...
Apologies, I cannot help it.
What?
The snail is inside you.
That is not the kind of phrasing I'd use, but yes. Snell squints and stares at you both. Hold on. Is this some kind of wizard thing?
Green One, you do not appear to be as loud on the strings as your iron friend here.
The snail leans upon his staff.
I cannot help but hear everything that you think, cleric. It was cleric, was it not?
It is. And greetings, Tulin.
Ah! A celestial! Grand!
His gimmick is he can see all of your dialogue options at once. Oh, that's good. He knows everything you might say.
You spirits sure do come in all shapes and sizes. Now, what a fascinating meeting we have here. Now,
The snail man looks around, leaning on his staff.
My mind seems to have slipped for a bit. You couldn't care for some exposition? What's the last thing you remember?
His eyes retract close to the base as he mutters.
Oh no. I was on trial.
For what?
I doomed us all to the flames of Isu. It was entirely my fault.
Time for sadness. What did you do?
I made a deal with the Red One.
He mutters to himself, trying to remember.
It is very difficult to read his body language for obvious reasons.
Isuth, the great dragon of Wilam, our band. I was the diplomat who enacted the plan of peace. We invited the dragon for an exchange of knowledge. Truth is, I was greedy. I wanted those strange draconic techniques. The power words. I was not alone in my hubris, nor did I set this plan in motion myself. But it was me who put it in motion.
Snail reads my mind. Why do we even bother making a choice of what to say? He's listening to this right now, isn't he? Blah, 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 blah. Thanks, strange noises.
Please stop.
Sorry. Don't say anything. The snail man looks pointedly around the room.
Or at least you think he does. It's more of a gurgling sound.
I am personally responsible for the deaths of approximately 50,000 to 100,000 of my kin.
Stare at him.
The destruction of Tulan cattle.
Yes, that is what it was. Isuth went back on his word. He used his unorthodox magic to disrupt our many mages. Then he burned the entire city. The towers fell. The screams. The heat.
So, like, the thing that ruined all the basis of Norvik. Yes.
The goblin stares at the snail man. He wanted Fusro Da, the dragon techniques. Yeah! He wanted to learn how to dragon shout.
How did you survive? Oh, the same way the rest did. We were, as they say, lucky. We were not close enough to his anti-magic, and I could resist his stunning shriek. We fled downwards. As Isuth claimed our city as his new throne, we fled even deeper. A few thousand of us, the ones who remained, we hid in.
He taps his staff on the tiles.
This place. It is where we kept our foulest prisoners. It became a base in which we organized resistance.
I'm liking the snail guy. Yeah, me too. He's fun.
Although some were not so keen to work with someone like me. A traitor.
How long were you down here?
Months. It did not take long for a divide to build. What did you do here? Debate, mostly. One camp were for leaving entirely. Another wanted to turn to Yor for guidance. I ended up wanting to leave with my wonderful Tut.
Tut? He shakes his head.
Sorry, no, The voice who won in the end, they sought a more permanent solution to the dragon fire. Through primal pagan magic. I did not believe in that for a second. They imprisoned you for inviting the dragon. That, among other things. I was never the most liked snail on the coast, but they wanted an offering. Someone to pin the blame.
He grows silent. His eyes shiver.
This poor snail. He knows what he must face now. Failure.
I believe you've been imprisoned here for a very long time. How long?
His eyes retract as if he does not want an answer to his question.
I'm honestly not sure. I'm assuming an era of dragons occurred after our reign. However, we ruled in the aftermath of the shutting of the gates. It had been 211 years since then, the year when our city burned.
That is very old. After that old war with Yor when the gates had shut. That would be
almost 2,000 years ago.
He grips his staff. You can hear it creak.
Millennia. I was in stasis for millennia? Yes. Yes. Yes, it is. Good gods. His eyes shoot out, aiming around the room. I am alone. There is no one. Is there? He shakes his staff and his stalk eyes wiggle around the air. A faint glow appears as he mutters a few words to himself. I see snails. Yes, but no. No, no, no. Is this what you made of yourselves? He stops casting the spell, his head falling towards the ground. Kurema, you fool! You led them into this primal state? Degenerative, frozen, monstrous beasts. Hail snails. Realize his terrible fate. He lets out a mad laugh. They wanted to use the primal cold to break the dragon's fire. That bastard. He led them into a pure devolution. It is a nightmare. Oh, by yours grace. Tell me, how did you break the stasis I was in? Your angel companion steps in. Her last thought was of you, Iskaru. I think it. You, cleric. Imagine it in your head now, please. Think about your talk at the Iron Door. Put Erma. She was in an iron door? They threw her in an iron door? For millennia? His eyes droop down towards the ground. I cannot believe it. My actions caused. I ruined my people. I brought flames. I divided them. Yet in the end, I did not even pay for my crimes with my life. Instead, I pay by standing here, alone among the ashes. Skani. And Tut, she endured the most torturous existence known to sentience, her soul slowly withering inside that hellish prison. Yet after all that, in the end, she... Like Tia said, her last thoughts were only of you. He lets out a grunt, then a painful howl. Then he roars a deep, bubbling scream, causing his glistening flesh to vibrate. Stare at the snail. When he stops, he takes his staff and slams it into the ground. I reject this string. Yours words do not speak of a humble nature. He broke off with this world to make his own path. I will do exactly the same. What are you talking about? He lets out a gust of wind. I can fix this. What? Yeah, what? Fix what? My dear Tut was destroyed by an iron prison. That leaves her soul in pieces. Not quite dead. Not in existence. But I am a cord puller Iskarum. I wield strings like Yor himself. From this day, I no longer seek power, nor achieve greatness, nor will I build empires. I will only perform one miracle. I will resurrect her. Then I will pay her back 1,000-fold for her unyielding love and devotion. Yes. The Celestial clenches her fists. Pay your debt, Tulin. To her. With everything I have. What kind of resurrection? True resurrection. Not easy, especially when strings are this weak. In Ebb, surely? What can you tell me about... What? Can you tell me more about... Yes, anything you need. I am in your debt as well, of course. He mutters to himself and leans on his staff. I now have a time limit, cleric. In 200 years, the fragments of my wife's soul will leave this plane forever. Thus, I can no longer resurrect her. And it will take time, but it can be done. Anything can be done.
Fuck yes. You need anything? Just let me know.
Thank you, my green friend. That is very romantic, Iskurum. I wish you luck on your venture. Thank you, Celestial. It's funny. Last time I saw one of your kind, it was on a battlefield. I prefer this. As do I.
Hype Man Snell rules. Fuck yeah! Let's fucking go! Alright, before we interrogate the snail man, we are going to take our 3-minute mid-roll ad break. Hey, now that you're no longer bound by those seals, who are you voting for? Who are you voting for in the election? It won't I can't ask him who he's voting! Perfect! Anyway, 3-minute ad break. Grab a drink, use the restroom, do what you gotta do. I will see y'all in a couple of minutes. And we'll interrogate a big sad snail. I'm sad I'm no longer gonna heal from asking him what he's voting for. Big sad snail man who's the most wife guy that he will rip apart the idea of magic to bring his wife back. I love it. My man. Oh yeah, the Prime sub's not auto-renewing is such a fucking pain. I'm sure it's on purpose, but, you know. I realized as I was talking to him that I kind of made the snail guy's voice a little too close to Ragan's. Snail dude, the ultimate wife guy. Also, Myth, thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. Iskurum is a legit dude. I also love how into it a tier is. Of just like, yeah, no. Let's fucking go. Everyone in the party is just like, hell yeah, snail dude. I was pausing and realizing, like, oh, if I'd left those seals intact, maybe I could have gone and given him one last word with his wife or whatever. But then I remembered that I can't get him out of the prison until I break all of the seals. So there was no way to get him out, I think, before sending his wife's soul to the ashes. You want to see? He sounds a bit like Ragan because his are the first thoughts he read after cat. Brilliant, Myth, making it diegetic. I love it. Yes, that's it. That's the one. That's why. Oh yeah, you need because you need to speak his true name to break him out, and I didn't think there was a way for me to leave the seals on there either. All right, we're back. Time to interrogate a snail man. Do you know how to enter the pillar? Oop, wrong window. Oh! You wish to enter a closed gate. That is bold.
I need to follow a rogue spellcaster inside a suspected rogue spellcaster. I should probably not mention this rogue spellcaster, right? Wait, damn it, he's hearing this right now, isn't he? Shit, The snail stares at you. I heard nothing. But if you need to enter a closed gate, it is no small feat, of course. But it is possible. Very much so. What lies beyond is not so much a mystery as it is a question of shape, tunnels, paths, cracks in the veil around yours realm. To enter is as simple as either having a key, a blessed passing, or forcing your way with a powerful spell. Gate, astral projection, wish. They can all break through, of course. With the current state of things here in your time, it is clear such methods will be difficult. Very difficult. You require assistance from creatures who have studied or understand its current shape. So, not you have any in mind? He lowers his head. Tut was a genius on planar travel. She could have helped you. Sorry, just stare at him. Oh right, Tut was your dead wife. He glares at you with one eye, and the other falls upon his staff. You have made a great friend in me, cleric, that will be rewarded. A staff of strings. The staff?
You hold it, feeling the power surge through the rough wood.
I call it Meravesh, staff of strings. You may call it a staff of Tulinkatl as a remembrance of my fallen people. It will be returned to me once you are finished with all of this.
The crystal at the top lights up as he speaks. It is now attuned to you.
If you wield it while dealing with this gate, it will grant you assistance, information, attunement, and so on. My dear wife's research can be found within its core. It will help you, I'm sure. Thank you, and Tut. As for who you should speak with, I have no idea. But unless you want to write a contract with some powerful devil or serve a far realm monster, you might not have too many good options. The only creature I know beyond my people who understood the mechanics of the gate was the Gate Guardian herself. But she was an ancient by the time I reached adulthood, so I would not count her on being around still. Gate Guardian? Are you talking about the Sphinx? Excuse me? Aziz, the Sphinx. She's still around? Yeah, so you know her? The snail leans back, still reeling over this information. I'll have to visit. So she is still in the lair? It's a tavern now, called the Drunk Sphinx. This is a strange era you've built for yourselves. I can't say I dislike it. In that case, I highly recommend you go speak with Aziz. Unless you've made a fool of yourself before her, she might be inclined to help you get into the Great Crack. Flashback to when you spoke with Aziz last. Oh, I'm sure with Meravesh it will be fine. And if not, maybe there is some other dark and oppressive magical creature you can persuade. Like that aberration Everglad that lives in the tunnels, I assume. I do know a pale guy that knows a lot about this stuff. I'm sure it'll be fine. Interesting. I should speak with him too at some point. So, do you have any questions? You know, about all the stuff you've missed? A couple thousand of them, yes. I will also, of course, dive into whatever libraries you have available for information soon enough. You do still have libraries, I hope. We have the Deroian library just south of here. I can get you an access pass if I put in an application. There is a living library hidden in the tunnels below. You could check that out. I've seen books all over the place. You always just go around and ask to check them out. Living library. Hold on. Here? You don't mean the living library of Tulinkatl? I don't know. It was a library and it talked. Then it survived! Oh, how wonderful. I did piss it off. The living library is one of the greatest creations of our empire. Or at least, the very least, the most practical. You made that thing? Not me. It was made by the great Hicklish. I probably shouldn't mention that I really pissed off the living library, right?
You moron.
Lady! A lady she was, before my time, a great wizard of... Sorry, you did what? I didn't say that out loud. You pissed it off? Did you not go through with an equivalent exchange? Oh boy.
Stop it.
Think about your encounter with the living library. I see. Well, that is unfortunate. No matter. I am just happy it still exists. And now I know where it is hiding. I will be investigating it soonish. We have the Duroian Library just south of here. I can get you an access if I put in an application. Oh, grand, please do. Is that your local government? Darrow? Technically speaking, I see. Also, I need to ask, what is south? South? Yes. South is south. Ah. This must be some common knowledge. Please elaborate. It's a direction. You know, downwards on the map. Interesting. Do you not use inwards and outwards, with and against? The scholarly version is seaward and inland. Which one's forward in your case? With is when you move along the coast with the movement of the sun. Against is against the sun's movement. Ah, we use west for with then, and east for against. I see. Do you know the etymological origin of these words? I find your use of them quite fascinating, especially the fact that my tongue spell does not localize them. Well, north is up, south is down, east is right, west is left. Imagine a map. Interesting. That you base your directions on a map is very different from our way of navigation. Later, I will very much love to pore over your findings and documents, especially with those maps. I've seen books all over the place. You always just go around and check them out. Oh, oops, I hit the wrong thing again.
Stop.
Interesting. Your people are very open-minded, then. Imagine the snail talking to Viskin. I mean, I could see it. That pale man looks like an interesting spellcaster. We will see how they react. Is your people anti-snail? I suppose they haven't been given the chance to be anti-snail. You'll just be something of it. I don't think anyone will actively hate the idea of a snail folk. He nods, and his eyes jut out. Interesting. I am looking forward to navigating your society. So what do you want to ask? He lets out a bubbling noise. Timeline! I can see images of your current world in your mind, your city called Norvik. You live upon the ruins of my people's creations. Very interesting. But I am interested in how you got there. You appear to be human, right? They're not too anti-Snell. At least they're not anti-Snell, which means they're probably not anti-Snail. I remember the dragons of the east bringing you people to the coast as servants. Slaves, rather. When did you break your chains? It was during the Fade era. Humans broke free alongside many others as the big ones fell. It was... I see! I am both relieved and extremely happy to hear of their demise. You're welcome. But I must ask, whatever happened to Isuth? His downfall must have been at the hands of some great warrior. Oh, I know that one. It's a children's story. Oh, the little and the large. Think about the tale. Hello, Bridge. Welcome in. We're talking with a sad snail. The little and the large. A gnome befriended the Mist Titan of Ascani, and together they defeated the Great Red Dragon. You're kidding! That is very good. Very, very good. An ironic end for such a horrid beast. Defeated by friendship? He lets out a bubbling laugh. May his bones be cursed forever. Humans of old Dimenor broke free and built kingdoms. We stole magic from the dragons, taught ourselves. Many gods were born in this next era, divine era. Hold on, let's see. The snail retracts his eyes and goes quiet for a while he listens to your thoughts. Do go on. The Fade era, after the Gate era, lasted about 1,000 years. The Divine era then lasted a bit less than 400 years. Then the Arcane era began. It lasted for half a millennia until only 27 years ago. Ah, you are at the start of a new era then. What do you call it? The post-war era. Oh, the Arcane era brought with it a most foul war then. I could only imagine. Myself, I too was born in a time after war, the Gate War, but my father saw the end of it in his youth. I will make sure to read about it more, but what caused this great war? Humans. We became great wizards, arcanists, and destroyed each other, as well as almost the entire coast. Numenists. A cabal of hedonistic far realm worshippers pitted the great arcanists against each other. An imp. He assassinated an elvish priestess and set the whole thing in motion. It's complicated. It's complicated. Yes, I can see that. I can similarly not in any way tell you the real reason behind the Gate War. But since it is closer in the timeline, may I ask, how did your Coast War end? For East Riders, an idea of meritocratic and democratic heroes eventually felled the Arcanists. Today, they are the most powerful force on the coast. The Arcanists destroyed each other and ruined large portions of their band in the process. Magic stopped being as potent. They tried to keep it a secret, but eventually they simply could not support their empires. It's complicated. Fascinating. It's understandable that there is no clear answer to such a complex conflict. As per usual, the victor will write the notes on history, however, so I will be sure to read with a critical stock. And your people, then? They fled the Arcanists during the war? I seem to get that impression from the images I keep seeing. What exactly can you see out of my thoughts? I hope you can't see me naked. Try your best not to imagine yourself naked. I hope you can't see me without the helm. Try your best not to imagine yourself without the helm. Voices? Images? Nothing too personal so far, thank you all. Some esoterically attuned people cannot help themselves. It's honestly quite dangerous at times. My old rival used to run into my laboratory and think very loud and grimy things, the most heinous scenarios you could imagine. What an asshole. That's hilarious. I have no feelings on this psychological warfare. What an asshole. You're quite the frayed fellow, aren't you? Yes, I am. No, you're not. You're forked. What would be too personal? Like me, naked, or... His eye stalks glare at you in silence. Case in point. So you're a wizard? Yes! I am a learned Tulin of the Path of Yore. String master, string player, chord puller extraordinaire. I might have missed a few arrows, but I assure you we had reality warping powers in our time. By Yore, I sure sound like an old-timer. I heard that. Sorry. No worries, it's true. His eye stalks retract. Are all snail folk wizards? Oh, no. But many, yes. The Tulin are naturally acclimated to string manipulation. It's a gift we were granted by Yore as we arrived on the Great Whale's back. What spell levels can you cast? 9th by regular limits. I had the ability to wield a 10th level spell at one point, although it was of course a weak 10th level spell. It is called Iskaroom's Epic Traversal. It basically targeted a road, up to 100 miles of it, repairing any cracks, making the journey smooth and wonderful, and generally increasing your movement speed by up to double. Back in my days, we made the mountain trek uphill both ways. I love that he made a 10th level spell called Fix Road. Sounds useful. Not exactly epic. Useful, yes, as you could imagine. We kept to the more grounded magics for anything above 9th. The actual world-changing spells would simply get you popped out of existence. Popped out of existence? Yes. I named it Esoteric Events. They apparently began during the Great War, during the Gate War, but grew worse during my lifetime. Irresponsible usage of magic could easily cause them to appear. Some called it wild magic, some called it yours curse. Oh yeah, we have those all the time. Oh! Do you now? I suppose the tongue spell translated it properly then. Can you teach me your 10th level spell? No. I'm afraid those epic tier spells are not stuff you can share. At least I do not know how. I need you to calm down. Considering the state of some streets out here, I absolutely believe marginally fixing a whole highway to perfect smooth conditions, 10th level magic. Yeah, that, like, exceeds wish spell shit. You do a wish spell and they go, whoa, 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 whoa. Slow down. Buddy, you're killing me. What 9th level spell can you cast? Nothing currently. When I was cast into stasis, Gu Rema made sure to place an ebbing seal on me. That is a curse, essentially. Makes me unable to cast anything above, in this case, 3rd level spells. So currently, I'm not so powerful at all. But do not fret. It will fade in time. Hopefully, as the ley lines grow stronger all around. This ebb. That's all I have to ask about wizards, for now. I can see that. How wonderful to share. Can you teach me magic? Oh, teaching. That is not my specialty. If you have any questions, I can always share my knowledge, but beyond that, I'm afraid I can only offer some spell scrolls. What does ebb mean? His eyes dart around. You want a definition? I spoke with a demi-lich who spoke of an esoteric ebb. It's just, I've heard the word a lot, but I don't think I completely understand it. A demi-lich? Dangerous friends to have, cleric, unless the world has changed by more than I imagined since I left. His eyes jitter a bit. Ebb is defined as an effect of anti-magic. Oh. It is when the flow of magic is ebbed, lowered, ceased. It is a word I do not like for many reasons. For one, it was a tool used by our enemies in the Gate War to sink yours realm. They wished to quell his strings. Then, of course, it was the dragon Isuth. His betrayal began by casting of a horrid and terribly effective spell. Power word, ebb. What does it do? Power word ebb puts a clamp on yours strings. A large area, I believe up to 1,000 feet, becomes a void of higher tier magic, and low tier magic becomes unstable. Yet it is no simple anti-magic field. It is not an area of suppression of magic. It is the literal editing of the strings itself. It cuts off flow to the strings, flow from the past and future, a ripple of non-magic through time. I will be honest, I have no clue what the exact parameters of casting such a spell would be, nor what long-term effects are. It's funny to have an NPC who has meta-knowledge about all the weird shit we've done. Yeah. But it does sound to me like your era has been affected by some terrible ebbings. For your strings seem to me as if they are indeed clamped and clutched. As if struggling to breathe. Past and future, the strings stretching through time. That is a lot of questions. I'll say possibly, probably, not really, and yes, through time. This is, of course, only a theory of mine when it comes to esoteric effects, pockets, events, and so on. But what makes an esoteric ebb so powerful is the sheer time frame of it. The consequences can be unfelt for centuries. That is what makes yours esoteric magic so powerful. And so dangerous. No sane being can calculate beyond the 3rd dimension, not at least beyond some abstract, impractical sense. We are not made for it. But that does not stop me from researching it, or at least until Asuth did. What do you know about yours strings? He holds out a hand and casts Prestidigitation. When Yor crafted the coast, he did not make it from scratch. Dazzling lights spawn out of his palm, forming a collection of gleaming lights.
Stars!
He based his design on others. The landscape, the water, the wind, the biome, as well as the magic. In most other realms, from what our history teaches us, ley lines, as in the thing we channel magic from, is usually formed as a web. A network, a weaving, a series of nodes connected. This design was fundamental and solid. It connected so many material realms to the outer ones. As in, they were not just one. The solid world of mortals on one side, the worlds of all the angels and demons and non-mortals on the other, a magical web interconnecting them. They don't live on the same world. He nods. Yor did something different. He created the strings. Instead of having a series of nodes with connections between them, his ley lines were simply just nodes. They contain a sort of esoteric vector. Intensity, delta, rush, tone, some call it colors, various difficult to parse parameters. Instead of being interconnected, they simply bump into one another, physically. That is how they interact, to put it in a simple metaphor. However, Yor did something ingenious here. He took the design of those interconnected webs and repurposed them, not to connect to one another, but to connect with themselves, over time itself. Connected from the past through the present to the future. A straight line, a chord, a string. What difference does it make in comparison to the web design? Why did Yor make the strings in such a way? Do you think the Arcanists grew so powerful due to figuring out your secrets? Is there a magic capable of flowing backwards through time? What difference does it make in comparison to that web design? Okay, that's a lot to take in all at once. Oh, right, the mind reading. I'll take your questions one by one, if that's okay. Starting off, compared to the original web design, which I sadly have not been able to investigate myself, I am basing all of my findings off data retrieved from my forebearers. There seems to be almost no real difference. On the surface level. Channeling magic from practical art works fundamentally the same, drawing powers from the network using verbal, somatic, and components to steer the power in a certain direction. However, this change, making that network flow into strings, changes how that magic flows. Instead of being focused on that one point in time, it is constantly connected to the past and present. Part of that power is leaked in each direction. Now, this does happen in some degree in a normal web-based node system as well. That's how divination magic works. But instead of it happening in a natural way, just like we remember where we were a second ago, so does magic. Just like we can extrapolate on current information in order to reach conclusions about the future, so does magic. The strings, instead, are directly connected. It would be as if we constantly saw ourselves in the past, alongside our present with glimpses of the future.
So like two mirrors facing each other.
Like a constant permanent form of divination magic. It is quite difficult to imagine. To answer your second question, I do not know why Yor made the strings this way. There are theories. Could he have done it to perform some type of chronomancy? Perhaps it was simply an experiment. My personal belief is that Yor found it efficient. By leaking esoteric energies to the past and future, it would make sense that we are able to build much more potent acceleration in our spells. How this works in practice, none can tell. Not since the gates closed. As to your third question, yes, it sounds like your Arcanists did uncover many of the same mysteries we worked on. However, it does sound as if Yor abandoned them in a way not too dissimilar to our own. Finally, your fourth question. Chronomancy is a topic of many wizards dream of as they study. I must disappoint you. There are no ways beyond divination, those little peeks behind the curtain, to tamper with time. As the strings move forward, Yor watches us go along with them. That is one of the messages we received from him all those years ago. He is watching. This is our one chance to make our choices. So make them well.
You are beyond. The rules do not apply.
Interesting. Well, if you find yourself beyond, do let me know. I'd love to investigate.
How do I learn high-tier magic? Time and effort, cleric.
I remember when we caught a batch of students about to rush out into the wild to burn some fey creatures with fireballs. They said they needed the experience. The wisdom of yore teaches us otherwise. Repeated exercise does build muscle memory, yes. However, true experience is brought from novelty. Be interesting. Your future and high-tier magic will be born from that.
Thank you. That was very informative. No problem. I'm no lecturer, so apologies if I am ranting too much. You keep mentioning Yor. What do you know about the guy? About Yor? Oh, just about everything and nothing. An enigma of a wizard Yor is.
First, I'd like to ask you, what do you know about Yor?
Old wizard made the coast, brought beasts of yore, mythical figure died in the gate war of yours.
The snail man listens to your thoughts intensely. Then he asks, beasts of yore? Is that what you call us? The only followers of yore who survive to this day are usually quite feared, as you can imagine. It's a good term for you yore worshippers. It's the term that's stuck. I see. The recent Arcanist trouble humans caused must have not helped the issue of yore. His eyes close up slightly. In the old world, Temenkatl, we worshipped oppressive gods. Oppressive in the sense of absolute power. My forebearers left willingly at the invitation of yore, to never again serve. So it's important to remember our love for yore was not subjugation. It was a partnership in the purest sense of the word. So to be clear, I am not a numinist. I have no religion. I do not worship yore. My people were raised into self-idealization by yore, given power, esoterical forces. When he fell after the Gate War and no longer was as directly involved, well, we all held some hope that he was alive, just hiding, or having gone into some other state of being to shut out the gods. Logically speaking, he has to be alive. That is my input to the discussion. Why? Because his realm still stands. I do not believe in a natural existence for his coast. I believe, although my evidence for this is faltering, the realm would collapse if Yor truly died. This place is held up by him, thus its existence is proof of his well-being. Not to mention a handful of messages we received at least hint at something still existing out there. Unless you believe those messages were false, which they could be, I do not believe so. What do you know about Iamestra? Iamestra? Where did you hear that name? His eyes stretch out towards you. You startled him by mentioning that name.
A talking wall. Think about your amazing wall speechcraft. The living library in the city below. Think about that strange place in the city. From an inanimate talking thing, think about general things. A talking wall. Chauncey? That was the name of it, yes. Recall your conversation with the literal wall.
That is the name of a founding shell. One of the first snails to be invited. By Yor. One who created the foundations of Tulinkatl. Chauncey the Seer.
Huh. But was it in the wall?
Yes. It could be an apparition, an animating spirit in the shape of Chauncey's mind. Or the very structure of the city you have built your home on is filled with the spirits of my ancestors. How peculiar. His eyes slowly retract. I suppose I should just tell you about a story then. I suppose I should tell you a story about Yor then.
Please do. I don't think that... Just listen.
He slides around on the floor as he speaks. What we know of Yor, some is derived from early witnesses. Most, however, is recalled directly from his secret original apprentices. Yor's apprentices hid in the shadow as to not become targets during the invasions. So I imagine that comes as quite a shock to you that,
oh no, we know about those.
What?
They're not secret. Not anymore.
Huh?
But there are 8 of them. Did you know that?
Yes, it's common knowledge, one for each band.
Right. Why did you ask, then? Your Mestra, she is one of the apprentices. Interesting. No, we don't know their names. Or at least I don't. Just that there were 8 of them. Oh! In that case, let me tell you. Your Mestra was the first apprentice of Goodland. She was the first cord puller of Tulin cattle, speaker of yore. Goodland? Goodland. Oh, right, the translation must be confusing. That is the native term we use for this here slice, or band. That is what you call it. You call it Ascani. You knew this apprentice. She was my friend. Yom would travel from tower to tower whenever she visited the city. She was old, frail by the time I was born, yet she traveled like no other. I was taught prestidigitation by her own personalized version. No doubt you would ask me to teach you, but that would be impossible. Only she could be a good enough teacher to spread such a complicated cantrip. He lets out a pained groan. Her disappearance was the first great omen of our people. My wife, Tut, was even closer to her. We missed her deeply. So you spoke with someone who spoke directly to Yor. What was he like? What was she like? Did you speak with any other apprentices? Why would he send an apprentice? Why not talk to you himself? Why did she disappear? Yes, many times. She could never tell. I can't tell when he's going to read all my thoughts at once and when he's going to let me go one by one. She could never tell us much about her master, of course. However, it was clear he too was an interesting figure. A personality, if you will. Just like all the tales painted. What was she like? Kind. He nods. They used to call her the neutral good apprentice. I tend to agree. Did you speak with any other apprentices? I'm afraid not. Or perhaps lucky. Not all of them were so friendly to the local populace, though most of them were simply destroyed during the Gate War. Why would he send an apprentice? Why not talk to you himself? That is a good question. We never had an answer. What drives an apprentice to neutrality? Was your magic based on greed? A lust for power? Was your magic simply conceived with strings full of neutrality? Why did she disappear? That is a very good question. One day she was there, the other she was not. I was the last of our kind to meet with her. I found her acting peculiar. She asked me, Isk, how much would you wager on a shell flip? And waited for my answer. I told her I'd wager nothing important on such bad odds. A shell flip? It's It's when you toss a flat shell into the air to see what side it lands on. 50-50, fair game. He shakes his head. Your Mestra, she accepted my answer and then left. I am still not sure how to interpret such a strange question. But that was it. She was gone. The Gator of Askan. Our connection to Yor. Gone. Soon after, just a few years, Isuth burned it all down. Jeez. The snail man lets out a blubbering sigh. Since I've been given a second chance, perhaps we will find out. One day. What will you do now? I will build a base, a laboratory. Somewhere in this city of yours, built upon our ruins. Any tips on who I should talk to? Lady Sageleaf is the local goblin chieftain. She could hook you up if you do something in exchange, I'm sure. Damn right. Oh yes, I see. Yes, this will help a lot. Thank you, cleric. Let's send the snail man to the literal dragon. He definitely doesn't have any trouble with that. Once I have established a foothold in this new era, I will return to my research, figure out how the strings have changed over the millennia, relearn my mastery of chords, collect the resources needed. Then, of course, he looks upwards. I will bind her fragments to this material world. I will return her to flesh, bring life into her once again. My dear sweet Tuterma, will be given her life once more. Then, if she will have me, I will build a life for us here. A life of peace. True, fair peace. Wish me luck.
Good luck. He nods. What are you voting for in the election? The what? The election. What are you voting? Voting? Hold on. Do you select your leaders through election? We're starting to do it now, yeah. Fascinating. Is this an elective system for landowners or mages or... Everyone gets to vote. Pretty much, at least. You just need to live here. Huh. You've shocked him. I did not expect something like that. Such a liberal paradise. Well, I am not one to judge these futuristic ideas. I must investigate. Tell me more. What do you vote for? Kings? Governments? No matter how long Bro lives, he will never realize he was dumped. His wife got turned into a door. Cut him a break. Parties. With different ideologies on how to run the city of Norvik. Parties. How glib. Very glib indeed. What does that mean? Sorry, it was a bit of an insult. Do go on. The Agrarian Party won't win. But they are my choice. That is amazing. He lets out a blubbering noise. Listening to all that, I would say I would actually vote for the Arcanists. Seems like they would be the most esoterically attuned party, which fits my ideals. However, in my experience, a group of wizards working together tends to end up being quite the mess. But my heart still leans in that direction. I'll have to go see for myself once it is time for that election. He lets out more blubbering noises. He has a fair reason to laugh at it. It will most likely be a messy process. His eyes behold you, knowingly. Do you have any spell scrolls I can have? Oh, only a dozen or so. They're deep in my shell. Any you're interested in? I can dig in and get one for you. He retracts one of his arms into his shell. Ew. What about a scroll of astral projection? You have particular tastes. That is not a spell you are even able to cast, not without great unreliability. I see. Too bad. No, you can have it. Enjoy. He hands you the tingling paper with a casual nod and the intense power rushing through your arm as you grab it. It will tear a hole in you. Grasp it with your life. Considering the state of this world, it would not have the intended effect, even if you did know how to cast it. So it's useless to me anyhow. Did the snail just call you a magic pervert? Yes, I think so. Oh, you're into some weird shit, cleric. But I suggest studying it. Detect secrets? Of course. That one is very useful. Inflict wounds? Oh yes, a dangerous one. What about protection from evil and good? That's a classic. It is indeed. Sadly, I do not have many divine spell scrolls, so that is a no, I'm afraid. How about Aura of Vitality? I used to have that one written down. That's an oldie. I was never too good at it myself, but it saved my life a number of times. Anything else? The snailman stares at you for a few seconds. No, you seem to have thought of all I am able to hand you, except... Do go on here. Don't leave me hanging. I'm acting really greedy, aren't I? Maybe I shouldn't. Isk shrugs, while slowly retracting his entire head. Slowly. Just watch. Soon the snail is no more, and you are standing in front of a shell. That's convenient. Then, as slowly as he retracted, he begins to leave the shell. I went over the esoteric attunements from your mind, cleric. It appears the only spell scroll you do not actively think about here, that you also do not already have memorized, would be this. He hands you... Scroll of Wish? He hands you a spell scroll. Wish? I'm sorry, what? Iskaroom, that is a very dangerous item. That's not like the wish, is it? That is wish. However,
You cannot memorize it at your current level of attunement. Attempting to cast it directly would also take, at your level of talent, weeks, maybe months. And even if I did cast it, try to read the glyphs and fail, I win! Wish is one of the few non-epic tier spells that can wildly shape reality. It is arguably the most powerful and versatile of all 9th level spells. It is so powerful, in fact, that it can easily cripple anyone who does manage to cast it. The only true safe usage of a wish spell is to use its power to ask for the casting of another spell, 8th level or lower. You could also ask for a weaker effect, which have proven to be safe at times, but if you word your wish poorly and the effect is broader than you intended, then you are, as they say, screwed. That is horrifying. The snail man lets out a blubbering sigh. I received that spell scroll from a djinn I fought alongside during the war. It was a reminder to stay humble for those who use it for personal gain, use it as a shortcut to greatness. Always end up in ashes. I did not always listen to such ideals, but when it comes to that spell, I have respect for it. One of my teachers, the great Ritios, used its power to shatter the hearts and souls of 100 ice devils. In the process, her entire being turned into a permanent esoteric pocket. You know, the ability I would expect to wildly shape reality would be wild shape. No, that's a different thing, though. That only wildly shapes one thing. I am giving this spell scroll not to use, cleric, but as a reminder of your mortality. I thank you for this, Isk. He makes a peculiar mouth movement. I like your fire. It burns brightly. Anything else? I'm good. The snail man nods. That's all I have to ask about wizards for now. I'll see you around, Isk. An ancient spell scroll from a different time. You cannot read the contents, at all. The snail glyphs running along the edges cause your entire body to tingle as you touch them, however. This is the power of a wish spell. A power so strong that even the paper itself becomes esoteric. Just keeping it near causes your nerves to tingle. A piece of bracken born through centuries of gate war fighting. This indestructible item has seen the early days of this world, and has now been brought to this modern, alien era. Grasping it gives you chills. Well, that was productive. Yeah, it was. Even though it boosts intelligence, it also boosts con. And he said it would be useful in cracking open the thing. The pillar. An ancient spell scroll of astral projection. Just holding it makes you feel like you have the power to rip a hole in reality. You obviously can't use it, though, not without ripping another hole in yourself in the process. Sick. Oh, that did something. Oh! Huh? A strange bottle. Bottle? Vorgone river droplets. Ah, a vial of blessed river water from Vorgone, land of giants. Popular among the Earthguard, it's usually labeled as not blood. Grants a minor strength increase for a week. Yeah, I'll drink that. I don't think I'm going to be playing this game for longer than a week. The election's in 2 days. How the fuck do I get out of here? Surely I don't have to go all the way back up. Right? Wait, no, there was
think it's just gonna go back. Whatever. I need to sleep, though. We're running on 2 things of exhaustion. We got, like, no spell slots left. I think we take a long rest before we have to go into the actual pillar proper. Oh, God, yeah. This was not even... What the hell is that? The roots are moving, ever so slightly. Oh, it's a helmet! At the foot of the snail ruins, you watch a mass of writhing roots moving around, ever so slowly, around a series of corpses. Skeletons, to be precise.
This reminds you of that magazine you read as a kid, Lord Fiki and Boney Tim.
Pretty sure you're going to finish the game next week. Yeah, that's kind of what I was feeling.
A classic.
That is a lovely helmet. You see it straddled upon the brow of a skeletal face. It is ancient. Must be thousands of years old. I hope you're not thinking of what I'm thinking.
Oh, I'm thinking.
The roots wiggle and writhe a bit more. I really want that helmet.
Then you better take it. Quick and easy. Just don't get caught. That'd be bad.
I'll do it. Oh, yeah, we'll be fine. I'm not even going to wear this. Why am I doing this? I'm not getting into a fight for a helmet that I won't wear. I'm going to head here. I'm going to park myself here. I don't think we have time to do anything else. Oh, it's a cool helmet, to be fair. It's just not for the cleric that I'm running. But yeah. Save the game. I like Isk. That dude rules. This reminds you of that magazine that you read, Necromancer's Illustrated Swimsuit Edition. Oh, all the bones. All the bones on display. Yeah, as always, thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. As Myth said, we're probably going to finish this game next week. Then I need to figure out what I'm doing next. I got a couple of ideas. So we'll poke around with something like that. But until then, I hope you all have a lovely remainder of your Thursday. And yeah, see y'all next week. Possibly the Wednesday after, depending on how long. Yeah, because I got to read it all and all that. So yeah, Fortnite. That's going to be the next one. I'm going to be the next ninja. God, that felt bad to say. But yeah, bye everybody. I hope you have a lovely Thursday evening. Hey, if you stuck around to the end of the video, I just wanted to say thank you, and I hope that you enjoyed. If you want to help support me in making more of this, you can follow me on Twitch, where I stream these live. Like, comment, and subscribe. I suspect you all know how this works by now, but it really does help a lot. Thanks.